Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Bernard, and I'm talking with Backyard Lifeguards Director Stephe McCormick, the founder and director of the company, which started here in St. Louis. And you were telling me earlier, you are the third or one of only 3 companies like yours in the United States.
Yes, that we know of.
So right here in the Midwest, with all of our many thousands of pools, who would know, 13,000, 16,000, something like that, here in the metro area, plus all the lakes that Missouri has and that St. Louis has. You guys must be getting busy.
We do. Yeah, we do get busy at this time of year. Our season pretty much runs from April 1st to September 30th.
Wow. So this is sort of
6 months.
So you're hiring. We're in February now, so you're hiring probably for summer?
Yeah, I would say we probably have just a few position openings remaining. We did increase the size of our staff from last year to this year to meet the increased demand for our services.
So you were just talking before we went to break about the triathlon services. So the triathlon business is booming and growing, and you guys are helping out with that here in the St. Louis area. And right here on our screen, we've got pictures. These are some of your lifeguards in action. Hopefully not actually saving a life, but you never know.
Well, they're getting into position.
Getting into position. So what are the requirements to be a lifeguard for open water swims versus a backyard pool? Is it different?
It is a little bit different. We still use the American Red Cross life-saving or lifeguarding program. Our expectations for hiring are a little bit higher, given that they may go to places on their own or have to serve an environment privately. So we usually we have a swim requirement for open water. We require them to be at least of adult age and also have a minimum of 3 years of lifeguarding experience. And then we also provide training specific to each event site or to just general open water or non-clear bodies of water, what is known as the flat water beach. And there's a curriculum associated with that for lifeguards. Okay,
and so now going back to backyard pools again for a moment, if you have a pool in your backyard, what are some basic safety tips? I mean, everybody knows it needs to be fenced.
Yeah, well that's probably one of the top 5. The other is that you provide constant uninterrupted supervision of children who are swimming. So no answering the phone, no texting, no leaving to go get an extra towel. And those are things that are really kind of hard. You know, it only takes a second for somebody to turn away and then for a child to, be in trouble or unnoticed. So, so those are things that we typically, sort of the universally shared tips that we offer. But we actually do offer a service too. If someone wanted a more customized information for their pool specific to their site, we actually go and evaluate that site for them and educate all members of the family, and also always encourage that all children in the family and adults in the family learn how to swim or learn how to perform CPR.
Do you all provide swim lessons?
We do not.
We
do not. It's actually a pretty big industry of its own, and it's hard for us to do that when we're going to different locations and weather is a factor, travel is a factor, things like that.
So having a backyard pool is a huge responsibility. There's a lot of them here in St. Louis we talked about, and I know my brother has a backyard pool, and they were just saying that once they open it in the beginning of the season, they don't leave town. They can't leave town because you never know who's going to pop over. Some of their kids' friends or whomever might pop by for a quick swim, so they are very vigilant about staying close to the water.
Right. Actually, that is a common fear for a lot of homeowners, but it's very infrequent that someone breaches your pool environment that isn't that you haven't invited to be there.
Oh, really? Good to know.
So I can put that myth and rumor to rest. It's more likely and perhaps a little bit more scary that it would be someone that lives in the home or is invited to be in the home.
Sure. So while you're there, quote, supervising, something's happened when you've turned your head or whatever.
Right.
So we've got backyard lifeguards. We can call you guys. We're having parties or triathlons or out at the lake or whatever. It's so great that we have a service like yours. You're on our screen right now is how you can contact Steffe. She's got a Facebook page. She has a phone number and a website, so it's easy to find you. And this is probably a good time of year.
And I don't leave town in between spring and summer either, so.
Yeah, exactly. Now, just real quick before we go to break, do you have any spring break tips? A lot of our residents in St. Louis are heading south for spring break in a few weeks.
Yes.
Going to the ocean, what are some ocean safety tips?
Oh, I would say check the weather. Check the tide tables in the morning and see if there are any surf conditions that you need to be aware of. As always, swim near a lifeguard, and if you have any questions about that environment, the lifeguard is not just a site manager, they're also an educator, so feel free to ask your lifeguard if they have any suggestions or tips.
Great tip. Don't be afraid of those lifeguards. They get their information, get their tips for the day. So very good. Well, Steffi, thank you so much. You're going into a busy season, but in the fall, come back and tell us what's new with your business. We'd definitely love to hear it.
So, well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And when we return to STL TV Live, your recyclables are now hitting the runway. You'll get a look at the latest recycled fashion here in the Lou. Stay tuned to STL TV to experience St. Louis.